Is your faith stirred up? Oh my goodness. Woo! Students, you guys did an amazing job. These testimonies of salvation and revival are proof that God is moving in our schools. I have had the privilege of working with junior high and high school students for almost 15 years. And when I first heard about Collision, I thought, yes, they have found the loophole. Woohoo! Adults can't legally preach the gospel in public school, but students can, and they are. And you've seen it tonight. Students who are unashamed and hungry to see their schools encounter Jesus. Amazing. They're launching clubs. They're leading harvest times. They're sharing the gospel. They're hosting worship nights. This generation isn't waiting for a revival. They are the revival. And God is birthing a movement through them, and we believe in this. Just a year and a half ago, Collision Dallas had just a few trained students on a couple of campuses with one big church partner, Cottonwood. We love you, Cottonwood. And amazing. But today, that number has multiplied to many churches. We're working with many churches, but 6 active church partnerships with more than a dozen ready to join us. Over the past year, we've trained hundreds of students, which has launched over 100 students now actively sharing the gospel on their campuses each week. You've seen their impact through the testimonies tonight. We believe this is just the beginning of a great harvest, and we want to invite you to be part of what God is doing right here in DFW. Our churches are saying yes, and our students are saying yes, and now, honestly, we need the resources to respond to that momentum. This year, our goal is to train and empower 400 students across 20 school campuses. It's a big goal, but that's 20 students per campus. To do that, we want to equip, train, and support local youth pastors and student leaders. We want to launch more harvest times. We want a Christian club on every campus. And we want to unite the local churches to work together to reach students for Jesus. By the way, Chase mentioned this, but we never charge churches. Everything we offer is completely free to them, and he's described it this way: the church is the bride, beautiful bride, but Collision is like the bridesmaid. Our heart is to serve and strengthen the local churches, not burden them. That's why we rely on outside support. So it takes about $25,000 a year to fully support one school. That covers our training, coaching, outreach events, harvest times, worship nights, food, very important, materials, absolutely everything that our team needs to equip about 20 student missionaries on a campus and come alongside all of the churches that those students are a part of. That breaks down to about $2,000 a month per school. And some of you in this room have the capacity to fully fund a school on your own, and your generosity will impact an entire campus for Jesus. Others of you may not be able to do it a whole school. You may not be able to do it alone, but you could. I want you to think about team up with others to fully fund a school together. Maybe 2 business owners come together to fund the school that is in near their local office. Maybe 5 families commit to funding and prayer walking a specific campus every month. Even if you don't have a team or partner in mind, that's okay. We invite you to step out in faith with your gift, because your generosity will be strategically combined with others to fully support a school where God is already moving, like you've seen tonight. Together, we will see entire campuses reach for Jesus. I want to break it down just a little bit more for you. $105 a month sponsors one student trained and supported as a gospel missionary on their campus. That's basically your monthly coffee budget, and it could impact an entire campus for Jesus. And I was thinking about it, there's probably 250 of us in this room, maybe more. Some of you came in at the end, which is so awesome. We're glad you're here. If there's 250 of us in here, if every one of us were to sponsor just one student monthly, we would immediately fund 10 schools. We'd be able to launch 200 student missionaries back into their schools. Now let's math. If each of those 200 students, stick with me guys, it's math time. If each of those 200 students shares the gospel with just 15 peers, which is our challenge to them, by the way, that's 3,000 hearing the gospel. Okay, more math. If 1 in 5 of those 3,000 becomes a disciple that we get to train, that's 600 new student missionaries. If they each take our challenge to share again, that's 9,000 more students hearing the gospel. It is kingdom multiplication, and every gift multiplies that impact. So we're asking you tonight if you will join us. Our goal tonight is to raise that $250,000 to fully cover 10 schools and 200 student missionaries. And here's what is so exciting. These 10 schools are really just the beginning. This map, we have a map that's showing over 20 campuses across DFW that are already stirring. These are the whiteboard that Chase mentioned, that we were whiteboarding all the schools, that we've identified student leaders and churches that are ready to partner. Those are the red dots on this map. The blue dots on the map are where we are actively working. The red dots are where we want to go. So tonight we're focused on raising $250,000 to support 10 schools, but we're not going to stop there because there's more waiting. So every gift above that is going to help us say yes to even more who are ready. So I want you to think about it. You're not just funding an immediate goal. You're fueling a multiplication process of disciple making.